Yesterday, he stood in line with 300 others, hand trembling above the crystal. Today, there is a name in the back alley markets of Hansong that traders refuse to speak aloud. They call him the Zero. The boy whose stone went silent, the one the appraisers wrote off in 7 seconds. The truth begins with a palm on a stone that lies. The hall smells of incense and copper. 300 candidates in pressed gray uniforms. Mothers in the upper galleries grip railings. Fathers further back fold their hands behind their backs as if posture alone could pull a rank out of a child. 6 pale columns, the color of bone, wait at the far end of the platform. The appraisers in black coats standing in a practiced half circle. Kang Min-jae is the 82nd name on the roster. He waits without sound. Other candidates whisper rank predictions, crack their knuckles, cry. None of it touches him. His mother died in a gate breach when he was 11. His father was a B-rank hunter who walked into a red zone. The state took the apartment. The orphanage gave him a number and a bunk. The candidates ahead step up, place their palms, hold their breath. The stones flare. F rank, F rank, E rank. One boy lights up the column gold, and the appraisers murmur, B rank. The boy's mother screams once, like she's been stabbed, and the boy's father wipes his eyes with the back of a wrist. The hall hums with small economies of disappointment and hope. 82, the appraiser calls. Min-jae walks. He keeps his shoulders down, his breathing slow. He has rehearsed the walk in the orphanage bathroom mirror for 11 months. Even ranks himself, even D rank. D is enough to leave this place. His palm touches the stone, cold, the kind of cold you feel under fingernails. He waits for the heat to follow. Nothing. The crystal stays bone pale. The appraiser frowns and gestures him to lift his hand and replace it. Min-jae lifts, replaces. The stone breathes once, very faint, like a candle in a draft. A symbol surfaces in the appraiser's reading pad. The man stares. The man flips the pad sideways. The other appraisers crane to look at the impossible reading. The senior appraiser exhales through his nose. He has seen this 14 times in his career. Useless skills with nice names. Tracking, listening. Skills that scan as awakenings but produce nothing the guilds will pay for. Trash skills, the pity rank class. Step down, the appraiser says, not unkindly. Next. Min-jae does not move. His palm is still on the stone. He steps down. The hall is quiet for him in the way halls are quiet for the ones who failed loudly. A boy in the back row laughs once, sharp and shushed. Min-jae walks back to his place in line and does not let his face change. Outside the hall, the assignment officer reads names, Null and below, to the outer ward. He collects a token, a temporary residence chit, and a ration card stamped awakened, non-combat. He walks the long avenue away from the hall with the chit folded in his fist. The city tilts down into the river district, into cracked concrete and corrugated roofs and wet alley smells. He does not run. He does not cry. He walks the way his father used to walk into red zones, calm. That night, he sleeps in a half-collapsed tenement near the canal. The building leans. The water below is black and slow. He shares a corridor with 3 other outer ward arrivals and an old woman who coughs in 2-second intervals. Mosquitoes. The mattress smells of someone else's sweat. He does not sleep. He sits with his back to the wall and reads the system window. Skill, copying, rank, dash, slots, 0-10. Status, dormant. He lifts his hand. He turns it over. The skin is the same skin. Nothing has changed. A skill with no rank and a counter at 0. But the counter exists. He stares at it until the sky behind his window begins to bruise gray. He has decided he will not die quietly. He just doesn't know yet what the alternative is. It happens by accident on day 2. He is buying instant noodles from the stall by the market gate. The vendor is an old man named Park, awakened E-rank retired patrol. The line is long. A delivery boy on a moped skids to a stop beside him, clips Min-jae's shoulder, swears and leaves. The system window flickers in the air in front of him. New skill acquired. Lesser flame spark. Rank F slots 110. Min-jae goes still. He looks at his hand. He looks at the back of the moped, already vanishing. He pays for his noodles. He carries the cup to the canal and sits on a slab of broken concrete by the water. Then, without much ceremony, he opens his palm and tries. A spark. Thumb-sized. Pale orange. It dies in the breeze in less than a second. He breathes out and looks at the sky. A rank F skill, the kind people awaken with and never use because it cannot light a cigarette without 3 tries, and he has it now without having stood near the stone again. He has it because their skin touched. The system window updates without him asking. Acquisition method, direct contact. Donor awareness, none. Notes, donor unaware of transfer. Donor unaware. He closes his eyes. He sees 300 candidates and the futures none of them earned. He sees the old woman in his tenement, coughing in the dark. He understands the world has handed him a key that opens every locked door in the city. He opens his eyes. He goes back into the market. He does not move quickly. He walks like someone window shopping with no money. He passes a fishmonger awakened C rank 30 years ago, hand stained black with squid ink. He brushes the man's elbow, apologizing for the narrow aisle. New skill acquired. Salt resistance. Rank F, slots 210. He almost laughs. He does not laugh. He passes a courier with a guild patch stitched on his jacket. White tiger, mid-tier. The man elbows past Min-jae with the entitled disregard of someone whose job lets him do it. New skill acquired. Reinforced sinew. Rank D slots 310. He feels it the moment it lands. A faint hum down his arms. His bones heavier than 10 seconds ago. He flexes his fingers and they close like shutters. By the time he reaches the canal again, his slots read 4. By the time the sun sets, 6. He is careful. He picks no one twice. He picks no one whose face he can identify. He picks shoulders, sleeves, fingertips on the same metal railing. The system never asks his permission. The world never notices. On day 3, he sits in his tenement and waits for the tax. On day 3, he meets Sun Woo. Sun Woo runs the South Wedge. D rank awakened. Reinforced body type. 2 of his teeth are gold and the third on the left is missing. He is 26 and he carries a piece of rebar wrapped in electrical tape. The tape is for grip. The rebar is for tribute night. Day 3 is Min-jae's tribute night. Sun Woo finds him in the corridor. Min-jae is carrying a half-eaten cup of instant noodles. The lieutenants peel away and stand a respectful distance back. Sun Woo plants the rebar against the wall beside Min-jae's head with a casual clack and leans on it. New face, Sun Woo says. Heard about you. They say the stone went dead when you touched it. It did, Min-jae says. Tribute is 20,000 won a week or 20 hours of labor on the canal sluice. New arrivals get 1 week to pay. After that, I become impatient. Pick. Labor, Min-jae says. Sun Woo grins. He pushes off the wall. As he turns, his shoulder bumps Min-jae's. Casual. Performative. The way a wolf brushes a sheep to leave its scent. The system window updates silently. New skill acquired. Reinforced body. Rank D, slots 710. Min-jae says nothing. Sun Woo walks away whistling. Crow lingers a moment, eyes on Min-jae's face. Min-jae lowers his eyes. Crow follows the others. In the cell, Min-jae sits on the floor. He breathes out. Then, very softly, he speaks aloud for the first time in 3 days. All right. Day 4 is the canal sluice. He works in mud, hauling sandbags, clearing grates. He keeps his pace ordinary. He watches everyone, especially Crow, who comes by twice a day to count heads. On day 7, he walks past Crow on the dock and brushes the man's wrist as if reaching past him for a water bottle. New skill acquired. Shadow step. Rank D+, slots 810. Tribute night returns. Sun Woo is in a foul mood. He drags Min-jae into the alley behind the tenement. Crow and Tae stand at the alley mouth. The street lamp flickers. Change of plan. Labor wasn't enough. From now on, you pay both. You don't like that. You tell me to my face. Min-jae looks up. I don't like it. Sun Woo's grin spreads. The rebar comes up. Sun Woo is fast for D rank. The rebar comes down where Min-jae's collarbone was a quarter second ago. Min-jae is not there. Shadow step folds 9 meters of distance to 2. The street lamp catches him as he reappears at Sun Woo's left shoulder. He drives a fist into Sun Woo's ribs. Bone gives. Crow shouts. Tae draws a knife. Min-jae flicks his hand. The spark dies in Tae's left eye. Tae screams. Crow charges with a length of pipe. Min-jae sidesteps and brings his elbow into the back of Crow's skull. Crow drops face first into the wet alley concrete. He does not move. Sun Woo is on one knee, blood at the corner of his mouth. What are you? Sun Woo gasps. Min-jae kneels. His palm finds Sun Woo's collar. New skill acquired. Wall crusher. Rank D+. Slots 910. He had not known Sun Woo had a second skill. Shame on him for not checking. He files the lesson. I'm a 0, he says. You said so yourself. He stands up. He walks past them. He shuts his cell door. By morning, the slum is whispering. By noon, the whisper has names attached. By evening of day 8, 3 outer ward gangs send messengers offering condolences and proposing meetings. Sun Woo's territory dissolves overnight. The rumor is that Sun Woo crossed a hidden hunter, a guild assassin, a mercenary. 3 rumors, none of them true. Min-jae lets all 3 live. Crow recovers in 2 days and moves north. Tae is blind in one eye for the rest of his life and becomes a beggar. Sun Woo's ribs heal in 6 weeks. He never picks up the rebar again. Some humiliations rewrite a man's spine. Min-jae watches the system window. He has 9 skills and a slum that has noticed him. Both are dangerous. He spends day 9 cleaning his cell. He scrubs the floor. He tightens the loose hinges on the door with a screwdriver borrowed from the old woman down the hall. He buys a new lock with the one that no longer goes to Sun Woo. He pays the old woman's medication tab out of pocket without telling her. Discipline is the absence of small luxuries when you can finally afford them. He does not fill his 10th slot. Not yet. He walks the city. In the 2nd week, he widens his circle. He walks past the Awakening Hall every other morning to feel the city's interior. Marble, glass, patrol uniforms with guild crests. He walks past White Tiger and Iron Crane and the small one called Blue Moon. He brushes shoulders. He learns the rules of his slots. The system updates with a warning: capacity overlap, skill family proximity. To stabilize, drop one acquisition. He had not known the system could refuse. He stops walking and reads the warning until he understands. Aura Read and Shadow Step share a channel. He has limited bandwidth even within 10 slots. He drops Aura Read. The slot reverts. He moves on. The lesson is worth the loss. He sees White Tiger's apprentice patrols on day 12. 3 of them, gauntlets glowing pale blue, trolling the edge of the outer ward. The leader is a young man in a white half-coat, hair pulled back, face shaped like a knife. Park Bom-jun. They corner him on day 15 at the canal market. He has gone to buy soap. He has stayed too long looking at his father's old awakening manual. Hey, outer ward. Min-jae lets the book fall. What rank? 0, he says. Bom-jun's grin is exactly Sunwoo's grin from a different income bracket. Hold out your hand. Min-jae holds it out. Bom-jun activates his gauntlet's testing mode. A blue-white pulse runs up the back of Min-jae's hand. The reading is supposed to spike with combat value. It reads 0. Bom-jun laughs. Confirmed 0. Testing for psychological resilience. He punches Min-jae in the stomach. Min-jae does not use reinforced body. He does not use re-sinew. He folds. He hits the cobblestones. He gasps. His eyes water on schedule. Bom-jun crouches beside him and pats his cheek with a gauntleted hand. Cold metal. Min-jae lets the contact land and stay. New skill acquired. Flash step. Rank C. The system warns. Acquisition at C rank or above creates a permanent mental channel between donor and recipient. Donor unaware. Recipient receives passive emotional bleed. Min-jae's 10th slot fills. He feels the channel open like a window in his skull. Bom-jun's irritation. Bom-jun's casual contempt. Bom-jun's deeper layer. Boredom. And underneath, a small persistent anger at his father. The older sub-apprentice, Ha-jun, is still frowning. Bom-jun, let's go. Bom-jun stands. He kicks Min-jae once in the ribs for finality and walks away whistling. Ha-jun walks last. He turns once to look back. Min-jae has his face down on the cobblestone. Ha-jun's eyes linger a half-second too long. Then he turns away and follows. Min-jae lies until the patrol is gone. He stands up. He picks up the water-damaged book. He pays the vendor the 2001. He walks back to his cell. He sits on the floor. He breathes through Bom-jun's bleed. The channel is faint. He already knows how to make it useful. He chooses what to keep. He drops salt resistance. He drops the lighter body skill. He keeps wall crusher, flame spark, shadow step. The next problem is the high guild. They watch anomalies. Sunwoo and Tae and Crow are an anomaly the slum is whispering about loudly enough that it will reach an ear that matters. He needs to climb out before the climb is done for him. He picks the day. Day 21. White Tiger's open recruitment is the first Sunday of every month. Outer ward residents may attend. He shaves with a borrowed razor. He puts on the cleanest of his 3 shirts. He walks the long avenue under a thin spring rain. The recruitment hall smells of incense and copper. He hands his ration card to a young woman who does not look at his face. Skill? Lesser flame spark. Demonstrate. He demonstrates. She slides him a tag and a number. At hour 14, he steps onto the polished arena floor. The gauntlet operator fits the gauntlet on his wrist and activates it. Min-jae channels reinforced body. He holds it carefully. He does not let it climb past D+. He lets it sit at low D. The gauntlet readout flickers. The operator squints. He marks a D and waves Min-jae through. He is in. The first month is paperwork and supervised drills. He keeps his head down. He performs at low D. He misses targets often enough to be unremarkable. He passes screening. He receives a guild dorm bed in the Apprentice Tower, cleaner and warmer than his tenement. He brushes hands with an instructor on day 3. New skill acquired, sword discipline. Rank C, slots 8-10. He learns skill rotation by accident. Mental channels are tied to the slot, not to the donor. He drops sword discipline back to free a slot and reacquires it the next week from a different instructor. The first instructor's channel closes. The second opens. He files the trick. He starts cycling. By day 42, he is one of 31. He is unremarkable on every evaluation. Ha-jun finds him uninteresting until day 44. They draw each other for sparring. They bow. They begin. Ha-jun is sub-apprentice rank, much above Min-jae's official D. He pins Min-jae against the practice ring's edge with a quick chain of strikes and an aura press that almost lifts his feet. Min-jae does not flinch. Ha-jun's wrist crosses Min-jae's collar. New skill acquired, aura press, rank C+ slots. 10-10, new permanent mental channel donor. Alert, suspicious. Min-jae understands why Ha-jun's eyes had lingered. Ha-jun has a passive perception talent. He saw something off about the boy on the cobblestones. He has not stopped looking. The bell rings. They bow. Good match, Ha-jun says. Thank you, sub-apprentice, Min-jae says. In the dorm that night, Min-jae cycles. He drops aura press. The channel closes. He drops wind cut. He drops sword discipline. He has been wearing too many weapons on his bones. He keeps 3. Reinforced body, flash step, wall crusher. He runs at 3 slots for 2 weeks. The cognitive pressure drops, his sleep returns, his thinking sharpens. He chooses what kind of fighter he is. Day 51 is the first day Master Choi Chol-min walks the Apprentice Tower. He runs the inspection rotation once a quarter. He picks one apprentice at random for a private review. On day 51, he picks Min-jae. The summons comes by paper slip slid under his dorm door. Time, place, dress code. Min-jae folds it once and walks to the office at the hour written on the paper. The office is on the 40th floor. The window is one wall of glass. The city below is a circuit board in the late afternoon. Chol-min sits behind a desk that contains nothing but a teacup. His hair is gray at the temples and his eyes are the color of wet stone. He does not stand when Min-jae enters. Sit, Chol-min says. Min-jae sit. Apprentice Kang Min-jae, awakened in spring. Skill, lesser flame spark. Outer ward resident. Tell me how a low-D apprentice survived 8 weeks in the South Wedge without paying tribute. Sunwoo's records show his right side is now permanently weak from a fracture inflicted on the night you stopped paying. The slum has names for that hunter. I am the man who reads those names. I cannot speak to Sunwoo's records, master. Chol-min lifts the teacup. He drinks. He sets it down. Stand up. Stretch out your hand. Min-jae stretches it out. Chol-min's hand wraps around his wrist. The grip is light. A pulse of bronze aura passes from Chol-min's palm into Min-jae's wrist. It runs up his arm and across his chest. It scans. The system window goes white. Critical event. Master level perception scan engaged. Triage to defensive minimum. Min-jae triages in the half second the scan takes. He drops slide. He drops flame spark. He drops wall crusher. He keeps reinforced body, reinforced sinew, and flash step. He dumps the others into pending storage. The system grants him a buffer he had not known existed. The scan finishes. 3 skills, Chol-min says. All body strengthening or movement. None of them in your file. None awakening stone certified. Apprentice Kang Min-jae, you are not what your paperwork says you are. I would like you to attempt to leave this office. I would like to see what you do. Min-jae moves. He uses flash step. He folds the distance to the door. The door is locked. He pivots. He uses flash step's second charge and folds toward the window. The window does not break. The glass is enchanted. He turns. Chol-min has not moved from his chair. Continue, Chol-min says. Min-jae attacks. He covers the distance to the desk in a single flash step. He drives a reinforced fist at Chol-min's jaw. Chol-min lifts one finger. His knuckles break. The shock travels up his arm and stops his breath. Chol-min stands. The master's aura unfolds around him like a coat. The temperature drops 3 degrees. The air itself tightens. Min-jae's lungs work harder. A rank aura press orders of magnitude above Ha-jun's. You stand. Most low-D apprentices fall. You will tell me how. Or I will take you apart for the answer. Min-jae looks up. My skill is copying. Rank undefined. Slots 10. I take what I touch. Chol-min's expression does not change. You came to White Tiger to acquire. Yes, master. Show me. Min-jae extends his open palm. He routes Chol-min's bronze aura, the diagnostic ghost of it, back through his own bones. New skill acquired. Bronze discernment. Rank a minus. Subroutine warning. A rank acquisition triggers donor bleed. Channel established. Severance only via donor death or recipient mastery. Chol-min's eyes flicker. He has felt the channel open from his side. He smiles. It is not a kind smile. You are not an apprentice. You are an event. I am going to have to kill you. Yes, master. The master moves. The distance folds in less than a heartbeat. His palm drives at Min-jae's chest. Min-jae uses flash step. Wrong direction. Into the desk. He uses it again. Wrong direction. Into the door. Chol-min is already there. Bronze discernment activates without him deciding. The aura reads in his bones as tone. High tone, narrow strike, 2-second buildup. Min-jae shifts his ribs by an inch. The palm lands not on the heart but on the lung. He coughs. He folds. He does not die. Chol-min draws back. Bronze discernment in 20 seconds. Untrained. You read me before I struck. You will live perhaps 2 more minutes. Yes, master. Chol-min strikes again. Min-jae reads again. He survives. He bleeds heavily from a broken lip. His vision is gray at the edges. Chol-min's eyes flicker. He has felt the channel open from his side. He smiles. It is not a kind smile. You are not an apprentice. You are an event. I am going to have to kill you. Yes, master. The master moves. The distance folds in less than a heartbeat. His palm drives at Min-jae's chest. Min-jae uses flash step. Wrong direction, into the desk. He uses it again. Wrong direction, into the door. Chol Min is already there. Bronze discernment activates without him deciding. The aura reads in his bones as tone. High tone, narrow strike, 2-second buildup. Min-jae shifts his ribs by an inch. The bloom is not enough to reverse him. It is enough to break him. He lands on the roof of the building 2 streets over with a crash that cracks his right ankle, dislocates his left shoulder, and breaks 2 fingers. He lies on the roof gasping. The system blinks. Severe pressure event. Triage strongly recommended. He triages everything down to 2 skills. Reinforced body. Bronze discernment. He stands. He stands on a broken ankle. He stands on the body strengthening skills he has refused to drop. He does not run. Running will be tracked. He limps. He flips his guild shirt inside out. He drops his apprentice, tagged down a sewer grate. He limps to a public bathhouse, washes the blood off his face, splints his fingers with chopsticks and tape from the first aid kit. By midnight, he is back in the outer ward. Not the south wedge, the west. The west wedge runs along the canal where the boats deliver fish and trash and bodies. He takes a bunk in a tenement called the Heron. He pays in cash, gives a false name, and sleeps for the first time in 19 hours. When he wakes, it is day 52. The system shows 2 slots filled. Channel report. Choi Han seat closed. Bomjun closed. Hajun dormant. Choi Cholmin active. Donner bleed receiving. Min-jae listens. Cholmin's bleed is not rage. It is a long, flat sadness. The tired sadness of a man who has spent 30 years killing things he did not enjoy killing. Cholmin is 53. Cholmin has buried 4 students. Cholmin has, over the last 20 years, increasingly suspected that his guild leadership has been using him as a blade rather than a man. Min-jae listens to the bleed for an hour. He understands 2 things. Cholmin will not lead the second strike. He is no longer the spear thrown at him. The second thing is that the High Guild is now coming. Day 53, the news travels. By dawn, the Apprentice Tower is sealed. By 8, White Tiger files a report. By 10, the Bureau flags it up. By noon, a team is assigned. By evening, the team is in the air. By day 55, the slum knows. The slum says a 0 broke a master's ribs. The High Guild is hunting in Hanseong for the first time in 7 years. He walks the canal markets on day 55. He buys medicine for his fingers. He buys salt and rice. He brushes shoulders with a woman selling crab. New skill acquired, tide pull, rank E. He drops it. He had been testing whether his copy mechanic still works after Chol Min. It has not been consumed. The mechanic is intact. He still has it. He walks back to the Heron. The High Guild lands at the Apprentice Tower on day 56. 2 figures step from the silent aircraft. The first is a woman in a long charcoal coat. Lee De-hyun, S rank, head of the Anomaly Division. The second is a young man 2 paces behind her in the same coat cut shorter, her apprentice, Shin Ha-jan. Min-jae sees the broadcast on a T-stall's wall screen. He stops walking. Ha-jun is now High Guild. The bleed channel is dormant, but the boy's face is unmistakable. He stands at De-hyun's shoulder with the posture of someone chosen. He looks calm. Min-jae walks back to the Heron. He sits. He runs his options. He cannot flee. He cannot win 3 exchanges. He chooses negotiation. He chooses it because of Chol Min's bleed. Through Chol Min, Min-jae has been listening to the inside of the city's elite hunter culture for 4 days. He has heard who reports to whom and which faction owes which faction what favor. He has heard that De-hyun has been at war for 2 years with a rival named Yoon Tae-rin, who runs the loyalty division, who does not believe anomalies should be recruited, only sterilized. If he runs, Yoon Tae-rin gets the contract and he dies in a back alley. If he walks to De-hyun, De-hyun gets the asset. He does not love De-hyun, but De-hyun is a faction with an interest in keeping him alive. He waits 1 more day. He wants De-hyun to come to him. He wants the meeting to read as the High Guild seeking him. Day 57 is overcast. He sits at the rooftop of the Heron in the late afternoon. The canal is gray. The sky is gray. He has dropped all slots except 2. Reinforced body, bronze discernment. He hears footsteps on the stair an hour before the sun goes down. De-hyun comes up the stair alone. Ha-jun stays on the canal walk below. She steps onto the roof. She does not bow. She walks across the rooftop and stops 6 paces from him. Kang Min-jae. Director, you are not what your file says. No, Director. You broke a master's ribs 3 days ago. 2 ribs and a finger, Director. The corner of her mouth moves. It is not quite a smile. You understand why we are here. Yes, Director. I have an offer. Your skill is one of 7 the High Guild has classified as Tier 1 strategic. It has not been seen in this country in 40 years. The High Council met to decide whether to recruit you or sterilize you. The vote was 4 to 3. I cast the deciding vote. You will be brought to the central training compound. You will be assigned to my division. After 2 years, you will serve. And if I refuse, Yoon Tae-rin's team is on the next aircraft. Director, I have one condition. You are not in a position to set conditions. I am setting one. Sub-apprentice Shin Ha-jun is not assigned to me as my handler. Putting him on me wastes him. Put him on the next anomaly. Keep him climbing. He is your future. She studies him. You have been listening to Chol Min. Yes, Director. You know he is faction fatigued. Yes, Director. You know I have been looking for a deputy who can think 2 moves ahead and who does not love any of us. Min-jae does not answer. Dehyun's mouth moves again, almost a smile. Walk with me. Min-jae stands. His ankle is still bound, but the swelling has gone down. He follows her. They descend. They walk the canal walk. Ha-jun falls in 3 paces behind. The High Guild aircraft lifts from the Apprentice Tower across the city and routes itself silently toward them. It will land at the canal in 40 seconds. Min-jae walks past the tea stall. He walks past the second-hand bookstall. He walks past the grate where his apprentice tag is rusting. The aircraft lands without sound. Its hatch opens. Dehyun gestures. Min-jae steps in. Ha-jun follows. The hatch closes. Inside is matte black. 2 seats. A single console. A dark window that runs the length of the cabin. Dehyun takes the forward seat. Ha-jun takes the rear. Min-jae takes the middle. The aircraft lifts. The city falls away. The outer ward shrinks. The canal turns into a thin gray ribbon. The Apprentice Tower becomes a needle and then a dot. The Awakening Hall, which Min-jae has not seen since the morning of his rejection, becomes a small white block of marble on the western edge of the central district. He watches it pass. He thinks of his father, of the empty coffin. He thinks of Chol Min, who is alive, currently sitting at his desk drinking tea, whose bleed has gone quiet because the channel is going to sleep as the distance opens. He thinks of Ha-jun behind him, who knows, the same way Min-jae knows, that the 2 of them will spend the next 2 years circling each other without circling. He thinks of Dehyun in front of him. Dehyun reaches back over her seat. She does not turn. Her hand finds his shoulder. She pats it once in the manner of an aunt welcoming a nephew home. The system window glows. New skill acquired. Severance. Rank. S. Subroutine warning. S rank acquisition. Triggers unprecedented donor bleed. Donor partially aware. Phase 1 slot ceiling exceeded by skill weight. Triage required within 48 hours. Min-jae's vision goes white for a half second. The bleed comes through. It is not Coleman's tired sadness. It is enormous. It is patient. It is the inside of a woman who has been at war for 20 years and who has not yet decided which side she is on. She does not turn her head. Welcome to the High Guild, Apprentice Kang. Yes, Director. The aircraft climbs. The city below thins out, pulls away, becomes a circuit board, then a smear, then dark. The mountains rise and fall on the western horizon. Somewhere ahead beyond the clouds, the High Guild compound is waiting. He has 3 slots filled. He has the Master's bleed. He has now the Director's bleed. He has the High Guild's protection. And he has, in the dark behind him, Shin Ha-jun, who saw him first, who said nothing, and who will be watching him for as long as both of them are alive. The aircraft passes through the cloud cover. The cabin goes briefly white. The lights of the city below disappear. Min-jae opens his eyes. He does not smile. He does not need to. The stone in his throat has shifted again. It has not gotten smaller. It has not moved out. It has only tilted the way a stone tilts when something underneath it has begun, very slowly, to push. Below him, the outer ward is a darkening grid of yellow lamps. The slum will know in the morning. The Zero will not be back. The aircraft levels. He waits.
We've reached the end of part 1. If you made it this far and enjoyed the story, go ahead and leave your like to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe so we can reach our goal of the first 1,000 subscribers. Comment part 2 below so I can bring you the continuation. If we get more than 10 comments, I'll release the next part for you all. See you in the next video.